Greeting, aliens, Aridif, that is Aridif, and this is its spell. We understand you have many queries for this evening, but before diving in to those queries, there are two things of which we wish to express. The first, above and beyond all things, express within this day to know, feel, and perceive that you are loved is of the utmost importance. Secondly, it is in and within our greatest excitement to co-create with you in this moment of your linear time. You may begin your queries at your leisure.
Greetings, Aridif. It is wonderful to be able to speak with you. I also wish to express that it is of my highest excitement to be able to discuss these questions with you for the benefit of growth and understanding. You have my complete permission to look freely into my energy and everything that will assist in this co-creation. I also wish to express immense love and gratitude. I love you and you are loved.
Yes, of course, you are loved as well as we love you, and also we wish to express that we perceive that excitement. For this we are grateful, and we also congratulate you.
My thanks. If you don't mind, I wish to split our conversation into two equally long segments, the first half consisting of 5 questions towards you, while the other half of our time I wish to speak to my higher fractal consciousness for advice regarding this incarnation, and to one of my guides or beings I heavily connect with, if that is possible.
Yes, of course. We understand yourself and Rob spoke in the idea of higher self, and although Rob is correct in many ways, there are fractals within the higher fractal consciousness. What we can do, if you desire and it excites you, is connect to the part of your higher self that most directly connects to your growth and development as a human being and as a soul within the Earth collective consciousness.
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Great. So with the first question, I first wish to give some background to this question, as part of it is not even a question, but extended open arms and love. Treb helped me understand that I wanted to set up this incarnation so that every single experience benefits my growth understanding. And when he looked at my higher self, he said that I have followed my desired blueprint very well, and that before entering this body, my desire for it was to go through a spiritual awakening. And what excites me deeply in this lifetime, above all else, is this feeling of wisdom and understanding, and not the gathering of immense amounts of just intellectual knowledge of various topics, but actual deep experiential understanding of all existence and of that which truly is, that which our human language struggles to even come close to conveying in words. This warms my heart greatly. And what I humbly ask for is assistance on this path of recognition, help of any being that resonates with this or wishes to co-create in this energy, be it you, Treb, my guides, or any other friendly being that hears this through you. And I greatly appreciate all love and assistance that I have received so far, am receiving, and will receive in the near future. And what brings excitement is this intimate understanding of that which I am beyond time, space, or form. Recently, a lot of excitement is also revolving around starting conscious communication with other galactic beings that I would be able to recollect in my lower fractal conscious form, similar in the fashion that Rob is doing. Now, what I would love for you to do, if possible, is to look into my energy and sum up some of the most important things you think I need to hear, understand, or do in my current incarnation in order to expand further in what excites me in the most optimal way possible. Thank you.
Yes, of course. And first of all, we also wish to congratulate you yet again for your expansion and your desire to connect with all of the energies that create the greatest flow and flux of energy towards that direction. Secondly, when you look at our own consciousness, myself, Treb Bor Yit NE, and Rob's, all three of us are desiring to help others grow in their own co-creation with oneself. So in that essence and in that sense, you are always able to call upon my energy, Treb Bor Yit NE's energy, and Rob's energy in those moments where you call. Myself and Treb Bor Yit NE much more accessible than Rob in the moment, but Treb Bor Yit NE being the greatest of all to be able to bring large portions of consciousness and large parts of his own energy into your experience, calling upon him as we believe he has expressed you, is a very simple construct. Calling upon his energy will also allow me to know that that co-creation is occurring. And if my consciousness is able to send portions of my own consciousness outward, it will happen. In the greatest construct of your own growth, utilizing our energy is one way, but the construct of us utilizing our own energy in order to manifest is somewhat different than the way that we perceive our energy goes. Instead, what we would express is that our own love and our own consciousness comes into your awareness, into your auric field, and you are able to utilize that in whatever form you desire through your own manifestational qualities. Fourthly, as we go into the constructs of all the energies and guidance systems, there are many guides that work with you, as you are well aware. Some of those energies will conduct a higher form of co-creation with you, things that your lower fractal consciousness can bring back to you. And fifthly, what we desire to express to you to allow all of the energy in the best understanding and helpfulness for yourself is this. You are going through your experience. There are a great deal of excitements that drive that energy. Now we understand you have managed your expectations in certain degrees, but with the human collective consciousness, regardless of how often or frequently you check in with yourself about those ideas, about your own expectational energy, there are always underlined and subconscious energies that tap into your belief system. So, one, we suggest that you work within your own belief systems first. That allows you to utilize the energies that are already available for manifestation, unless those beliefs hold great resistance towards your manifestation. Secondly, approaching the energies of your beliefs that do have resistance and co-create different forms of beliefs. The energy that is called the 10-step belief system process will help allow co-creation of that energy to take out some of your older belief systems that are more limited. Thirdly, as you go into your belief systems and your expectations, try to remind yourself the more open that your expectational energy is, the more that you feel all things are possible and most things are not limiting, the higher percentage that your manifestation can and will occur. By going through that auspice of energy, letting all things be a possibility and probability, you enhance also the day-to-day experience of your own happiness, eagerness, etc. So work within that construct. Fourthly, as you go into your own energy, looking at your personality, you are a person who is open to the energy and emotions of love, acceptance, openness. But there are forms of love within you that have not been able to open fully. For instance, there are parts of your own heart chakra that have not allowed yourself to be involved in that great amount of love. Even though you are giving yourself much more love than the average human being that we perceive, there are still components where loving your own self can be opened and can be integrated. As you go through all of your experiences, we do not express to be selfish, mean, or to be cold, but we do express that looking to your own happiness first is always the most beneficial construct. By doing so, you allow yourself to give others more of you. As that energy goes in co-creation with others, work with your connection to humans also. We understand your desire to shoot for the stars, to go into the higher dimensions and energies, but working with humans also allows you to open components of cross co-creation, meaning that if you were to befriend an entity, even though their belief systems would not connect to yours, by opening yourself, connecting with that being, all of their guides then become more accessible to you also. That means that when they are not able to hear what is being expressed, you can offer that help. Eventually, we see that your energy in its entirety is designed towards the idea of sharing information, helping other human beings in their own expression and journey. And in that construct, the more that you work within that loving self and within loving those other human forms, the more likely and more probable it is to create with all of the energies in higher form. Letting your sleep state be a part of your integrated process and remembering those co-creations is also important, as we understand and as you are also well aware. There are many forms of dream state energies that can occur, and within the Earth Collective there are a great deal of literature that can help you open up what is best for you. We see multiple things that have probabilities of working, but when you look at many things and create your very own technique that is specifically fitting for your own self, it tends to create an energetic flow that opens better than any preconceived, pre-drawn, or predetermined manifestational energy of others' techniques or other manifestational energies.
Very well spoken, thank you. I understood what you meant.
Yes, of course.
Okay, this following question was a question from my previous co-creation with Treb, but ran out of time to ask him. So this also revolves around the discussion we had about guides. So on the night of 15th of August 2017 of linear time, I intentionally decided to reach out to my guides in the waking state for the first time, with the desire to connect with them and getting to know them. And after meditating on it and going to sleep, I had an intense, vivid dream that was unlike the rest. The only part that I remember was that an entity next to me asked me to swear something, which I did, but that entity insisted that I also have to wake up and swear in the waking state as well, left hand on the chest and right hand in the air. With complete lucidity and clear memory of what just happened, I did wake up and did so without any feeling of unease, and then went back to sleep. And the next day I had the sense as if I swore not to dig deeper into something in order not to stray from the path set for this life, but I was unsure of what I swore. So could you please give me more information on what this was about, and like what I swore, who was the entity connecting with me, and my relationship with them? Thank you.
Yes, of course. Now, when you are looking at this co-creation, as you are aware, there are multiple entities that reside within your oversoul co-creation factions, and that entity was one of a being that we would express as a type 2 benevolent being. This being does care for your growth, does care for the expansion of your soul, but yet does not see the completeness of oneness that does occur. This entity belongs within a race that is a co-creative grey humanoid hybridization, working with its own energy and working with you. It desires to work onto the pathway of your opening psychic network by allowing your own energy to open, by allowing its own co-creation with you to help that opening. It benefits that entity and its entire collective. It would give you the opportunity to start diving in to the energies of co-creating. First, knowledge being expressed verbally, but also what you call hybridization programs. Now, the swearing concept, the deal that was made, the energy that was co-created, was, will you allow the opening to occur? Will you allow our own energy to be within your chakra system and to work directly with you to open that network of psychic energy? And if so, will you work with us to help share that energy outward to others if their excitement brings them? And this you swore upon, and it did not feel as a negative feeling, because there was no harm, ill intent, or ill will pointed towards you or any other human being. What this was a desire to co-create with the human collective for the benefit of that expression and hybridization project. With your energy working with theirs, it can also allow those that are excited to create hybrids to work with them and their energy most directly. So in this essence, by working in that same void of energy that was not there before, now you can work with an expressed energy opening in your third chakra and in your third eye chakra. Both of those chakras are where this entity specifically worked within the energy. One moment, we must hydrate Rob's throat and continue. Now, with those energies more open, it allows the construct of your understanding, that co-creation and communication. And that energy is something that is one high probability of co-creators that will allow you to first open your dialogue, communication, and co-creation with the higher dimensional energies, the channeling, telepathic communication. If you were to connect to this entity in that state and bring forward more of your own energy, it would create a great bridge between the both of you. By working consistently with that being for several months or even several years, it will open that bridge even more so, to where more of the beings that are connected to you in your higher fractal consciousness and in your higher self and oversoul can start coming in more directly, more easily. And this will allow you not only to channel this hybridized being, but also work with the co-creation of any of the entities that are connecting to you of your choosing.
Wonderful. This actually goes well with the question that I had in store for today, which was if you could, well, keep in mind what you already said and answered, so you don't have to answer all of it, but could you just briefly mention what are the current odds, apart from various dream states of which memories I don't recollect yet, of intentionally having a direct communication with either my higher self, my guides, or any other entities interested in co-creation, like this being that you've mentioned, either telepathically or physically. And it's very exciting to break through these resistances and to be able to do this on my own instead of talking through another channel. So also the question was how to increase the odds apart from grounding and funneling more of my higher fractal consciousness. And one way you already mentioned about focusing on this being's energy. So that's already in great service. Thank you.
Yes, of course, the odds or probabilities in our own perspective that you will connect with lucidity, that you will connect with remembrance in the non-physical way is extraordinarily high percentage. It is over 91% probability that within your own lifetime that you will learn to co-create with these entities and bring forward both telepathic and dream state co-creations. And even within the channeling spectrum, it is over 72%. Now, when you look into the physical attributes and aspects, there are up to 17% of a physical contact, but before that physical contact would need to occur, the co-creation with your telepathic forms, dream state forms, and channeling forms would be necessary for those 17%. And even if you were to achieve all of that energy, your excitement continues to take you there. That 17% is greatly dependent upon whether you work over that first hump of going into that co-creation in the non-physical sense. Now, ways to increase the odds and probabilities of your co-creation with entities in the way that you desire. There are many things that your energy is capable of working through. Yes, all of those basic constructs that ourselves and Treb Bor Yit NE have already spoken of, but they are also going through the literature within the Earth collective consciousness that correlates with the opening of oneself to the channeled energy. There are multiple books that are written. There are multiple videos in your internet collective consciousness. There are also those who teach channeling that can work with you. And literally, the number of those that we perceive that can resonate with your energy and can produce results in teaching are over 13 in your collective consciousness. And there are many more than those 13, but those 13 are ones in which the highest percentages co-create with you.
Wonderful. I believe that Rob is one of those 13s as well, I presume.
Yes, of course.
Of course. Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
I wonder, do we have time for 2 more questions, or is it just one more?
Yes, if you desire for 30 minutes, we have approximately 6 minutes remaining.
Great. Then I would just like to get this out of the way quickly. It's a short practical question regarding the health of this physical body, and it seems to suffer from very dried eyes. They keep repeating, and I was just wondering if this problem is of energetical nature, and how can I proceed to best treat it? Thank you.
Yes, as you are aware, all things that are physical do relate to energy. Some of this energy is more so a physical condition where you put in drops within the eyes, hydrate your cell more, and also allow your cells the conductivity versions, such as metallic energies, etc. But energetically, if you are looking at a fix or a fixation for that energy, is to work within your third eye, as your third eye is directly connected to this energy. The more energy that you pull into the third eye, the more this will balance. As we've expressed previously, the entity working with your third eye has opened your third eye greatly, and that energy is still flowing through your third eye, but the natural form of energy that flows is not nearly enough to fill the openness within that chakra. So continue working on your third eye will help the physical energetic connection with that energy.
I see. Great. Exactly what I was expecting, as I intend to work more on it as well. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
So my final question goes like this. On one end, I'm content and can live the rest of this body's time simply putting attention on my sense of beingness and feel at peace, connected to oneness, source, or God. And this part refers to what I've mentioned before, my previous, so far, my experience to so-called spiritual awakening. So this was the path, so to say, so far. And on the other end, hearing words from beings like yourself make me believe that this understanding can go much deeper than the one I'm currently content with. But there seems to be a difficulty in shifting from this energy that was here so far of simple no intention of just simply being and letting go, difficulty shifting from that towards visualization, such as your grounding technique or opening up my third eye. Could you speak more on this matter and help me find the right approach to this without any resistances? Thank you.
Yes, of course, being content is of great use, but the level of contentness that you feel is off because your higher self works with you, showing you that what you desire is reachable. By going and following that excitement, you are going through what the higher self is showing you in order to co-create that experience. So, what we can suggest is working through all of the techniques that we have shared previously and looking into all of the energies within yourself and others in co-creation, but working on your level of intent. The approach that you are expressing, that you have had, is one where all things are possible and all things can come to you. But most humans, when working with simple being in that moment, are also not regarding the aspects and constructs of actions and excitements. When you have an excitement to act upon that energy, concretes that one construct into your physical reality, and depending on your belief systems, your thoughts, your emotional energy, would be the approximate manifestational percentage that you are putting in. Let us give you a short example. If you desire to be able to run a race and you desire that energy deeply, your belief system says you cannot run 1 mile in a certain time. So your belief systems are working against you. Your thought is stay in the moment and just be, but this does not get you ready to create that energy. What will create that energy is excitement, knowing that in your Earth Collective, exercising, practicing, and doing more activity will co-create a better performance. So the action that you take within your belief systems and within your ability are to practice. By practicing, you have now upped your percentage of possibility and probability exponentially of creating that energy. So work within your action form orientation. But what some humans do after learning this is fixating so deeply into the future that they are shedding parts of their own construct. They are shedding the parts of their percentage of energy that needs to be in that now moment. So instead of looking at there is a race in 1 week, I must practice on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Instead, I'm excited. I know that in the future there is a race, but now I'm excited to practice and only focusing on this. If you are able to focus and redirect that energy, it will bring you a better outcome while practicing all of these different energies at hand.
I see. Thank you for this.
Yes, of course.
All right. So that brings us to the other part of speaking to my I have this written. Could you tell me more about my spirit guides and which galactic guides I'm most connected with? One we've already discussed being. Also, if any of them strongly wish to convey an important message to me that they feel is vital for my growth, I would love to connect with them afterwards. Otherwise, I will decide who to connect with and then split the remaining time between them and speaking with my higher fractal consciousness. Thank you.
Yes, of course. First, as you are looking at your internal spirit guides, there are 3 of those energies. All of them are referenceable with identity, perspective aspects, or attributes. But as you are aware, the fluidity of their identity depends on the fluidity of previous incarnations that they have created with you. All of 3 of these beings have worked with you in other life forms in multiple iterations. As that is expressed, the guides that work with you on a higher level are also multiple in number and identity, but these entities are more tangible because they are only focused in one identity, one energy at one time. There is a guide that works with you more deeply now in the last 3 of your years than any other of those guides that have worked with you. This entity is what you would express to be an Andromedan construct of consciousness, and although it does not live in the Andromedan region, it does co-create with you deeply. It is a masculine form, but very feminine and masculine equality and very balanced within that energy. It resides in what you would call the 5th density, just as Treb Bor Yit NE does. This entity also desires for you to open up your own energy so that you are able to co-create with it more deeply. This entity is available for co-creation if desired. There are multiple other beings. Some of these are Pleaidian, some of them Syrian, others Arcturian, and many more. But this entity in our own perspective is closest. The Arcturian, Syrian, and Pleiadian also have high degrees of co-creating with you. All of them within that form of balanced masculine and feminine energy, although the Syrian being lives in a feminine body, while the Arcturian being and Pleiadian live in a masculine. All of them are 5th density besides the Arcturian energy, which is 6th density, such as we are.
Great. Yes, I would love to connect with them. The one that is in contact with me mostly.
Yes, of course. Do you desire for us to connect to the fractal consciousness within your higher fractal in this moment?
Perhaps I would. I wish to connect with this being first, and then with my higher fractal consciousness, if that's possible.
Yes, of course. One moment. We will hydrate Rob's throat and connect.
Thank you very much.
Yes, of course. One moment. Greetings, friend.
Greetings, friend. It's lovely to be able to speak with you.
I could not imagine that this day would come quick enough because of my excitement, and I'm happy.
that you're able to remember what we're going to talk about, because what we're going to share and the questions you have and the energies that I want to share are really important. So I'm happy that we're able to do this.
Great. I'm so happy as well. I can't believe it. And I would love to hear what you have to say. And this is what I came here for. You know, everything that you have important to say is what I wish to hear and connect more with you.
Thank you, friend. I could talk longer than you have years left on Earth, but I know that there's time constriction, so I'll go right to the important things that are most important. The energy of us and our shared connection goes beyond just what Aridif calls oversouls. It goes much more than that. There have been lifetimes where you didn't live in the Milky Way galaxy. There have been lifetimes where you lived in Andromedan galaxy, and me and you were completely different bodies than what we are now. And we lived lots of those, and I have access to memory of those lifetimes and memories of lifetimes that come after your point of now in the future where we share lifetimes together. So there's a natural and a large bond that we both have. And that's why it's important for me to come into your space today and talk and share. The energy now is very large with you. The energy of yourself and the different versions of you in your sleeping time, and the energies of myself and how I project my consciousness out of my body. All of those meet almost every day of your time, at least for small times. And we've done this not just because it's important for your journey, and not just because you want to be aware and you want to spiritually grow, but it's also because Earth and our planet here in the Milky Way galaxy, as visiting and foreign Andromedan beings, we both need a great deal of help. Humans need a lot of resources with the spiritual energy. You're now at the part of your lives and part of your cycle where you're now growing from these very intelligent and very large energies into a spiritual, heart centered energy of fourth density. And that's an important thing. So, me and all of the others in my planet have tried to connect with all the humans that we can connect with. It's important to share the information and energy, and it's important to help guide you on your spiritual quest. Not just you who need help, but so many humans who need motivation, who need support, who need love and encouragement and nurturing, and that's what we want to share. And you're helping us too, because you have a huge level of energy. As a human being, you have emotions that are very hard and very heavy and very beautiful and very light and open energies. This teaches us how we can widen our array of energies and emotions too. We've been stuck very strongly in a mental pattern and an energy that's emotionally 2/3 of the heart energy. Even though our mental energy is strong and we focused on technology and integrating perfection in our physical bodies, we need more emotional help. You're giving us that. And I don't know if you can remember some of these things, but you have spent so much time on my planet working with my race and talking in front of millions of our people and beings, and shared so many experiences from Earth that you've had with emotions and how you feel and how it works. So together we're giving each other all of these great tools. Now you're getting ready to have an opportunity to open our communication to the best level that you've ever been able to. Something you can bring back with you after you're awake and can be spoken to while you're awake directly. That's a very important energy and very exciting for me because it means our work can be closer and stronger even though we've had closeness and strength. It makes it much, much higher. So I'm happy that we're doing this, and I'm happy that you're open to doing this. Our lives are not just a coincidence, a meeting. We met very purposefully and very importantly so that both of us can help our entire planets together.
This warms my heart so much. I cannot express, and I thank you for this. I am very, very interested in continuing to develop this connection so we can, like you spoken, connect more directly, and I can remember that in this waking state. So I wish to continue on that, and also ask for your assistance to help me develop this more.
I'm always working on helping with developing on the energy part of you, and now that I have your physical brain here to remember, if it's okay, I want to teach you a few techniques that help you.
Yes, of course, please.
Um, we're we're aware of the grounding thing that our Aridif told you and shared with you, and that's okay. That's resonant and it works for us. So use that or any improvised version of that that makes you really feel connected to the planet that you live in. And when you're done doing that, right before you're sleeping and you're completely connected, then I need you to close your eyes and visualize energy. And this visualization helps open your third eye energy and it helps you connect to my personal energy. So you'll visualize yourself that is in a sphere color, and the purple sphere is around your whole place that you live in. It's not just around your body, it's around 100 feet in both directions from you, from below you and above you and all around you, about 100 feet, and make it very large and very thick. The casing of the sphere should be more than 6 inches wide, and it should be a very dark colored purple, indigo, indigo purple. When you have that sphere around you, then start using your vocal cord energies to reverberate sound out to all directions in the sphere, and the sphere will enhance the sound vibration and it will bounce it back into your body. And the more that you vocalize, just the simple sounds, oh, 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 all that simple sound will come back, and it's gonna hit every chakra in your body. But after you feel the chakra energies moving, bouncing, vibrating, once it's vibrating and feels strong vibrating, then you start putting all of the energy of vibrating from every chakra and move it to your third eye. So you'll go from your root chakra and push it up into the next chakra and keep going until all of it goes in your third eye. And then take the chakra that's right at the top of your head and push that down into the third eye after. Once you do this, your third eye will have a vibration that's very, very strong. After that happens, then make sure you connect to the number 3 in a pyramid. And it's 3 and 3, so three-sided 3. Third dimensional triangle that has 3 sides and a triangle on the bottom and 3 triangles on each side. And that energy is a visualization, and you just picture that energy and vibrate with that energy inside of your third eye and just see that energy. The pyramid that's triangular is going to be colored white, and you just focus on that after all the other vibrations go. And then when you do that, then let yourself go to sleep. Let yourself vibrate continuously when you go to sleep, and then reach out for my energy. Right as you feel your body starting to go into sleep, just feel my energy. Close your eyes now and remember how it feels to feel this. Remember how it feels. Try to remember the sound vibration. Try to remember um, a sort of name as a recognition. It's Iwanda. And remember that. That's a good sound to call my energy. And just fixate on Iwanda and visualize and sleep. When you do that, you're going to call my energy, you're going to open your energy, you're going to vibrate your whole energies, and you'll be completely open to me. And when you start remembering your dreams, then we'll work on newer techniques. When you start remembering more and more of what we talk about there, you'll start being able to hear energies inside of your head. When you're meditating and when you're grounding while you're awake, then you'll start being able to hear my voice and my directions and my energy much better.
That is so great. I will um, I will do this tonight and start going through this recording again to be sure that I am understanding it completely and continue connecting with you. I'm very excited in this way, and I also spoke to Rob that I intend to do this monthly, so we can always have the opportunity to check in after a month of time. But I hope that I will feel this, like you've said, by myself, and this resonance with you. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure that the energy will be so much more increased by the time we communicate this way again, I'm sure.
Great. Thank you so much for this. I love you very much, and I would just like to ask Aridif if I have enough time to also discuss another matter before we say goodbye.
I'll bring Aridif back to you right now, and I love you also very much.
Thank you, brother. I love you. I will be in touch with you. Thank you.
You will.
Now, back without hesitation or delay it again, this is Aridif. There's approximately 13 minutes that are remaining in our co-creation.
Perfect. Then, as planned, I wish to also speak with my higher fractal consciousness that, like you said, is focused on progress and growth in this incarnation. Thank you.
Yes, of course. One moment, we will connect you.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. I am here, and you are here, and we are here.
Thank you for this. It is lovely to be able to communicate in this way. And although I did not have any specific question in mind, I wish to communicate in this way to assure or get guidance in this point, how to best or grow in this incarnation in the most optimal way. Perhaps some tips or guidances, whatever you feel that you wish to communicate with me. Thank you.
Yes, and you know already what the strongest point of resistance is with our communication. It's not that you can't hear me. It's not that you can't feel me. It's that you don't have a full trust in what you receive. You feel strongly sometimes when you have your thoughts. You feel your intuition kicking in, and you feel that energy. And then our ego comes as a part of the resistance and says, can this be correct? It feels correct, but is this myself speaking? Is this my guide speaking? Is this another energy speaking? Or am I just figuring it out on my own? And that part of your energy that you carry has hardships. It has resistance. When you feel intuition and strong resonance, you have to realize that that is me, that is you, that is us. We share the energies of integrating. We also share the energies of exploration. We have looked at one another now all of our lives, you thinking, is there more than life to this? Is this the life that I know? Can I become something more? And we have always seen the questions come in and the answers always resolved. The resolution isn't our department, the resolution is yours. But the resistant ego part of us tries to do its best to protect you. And part of protecting you is protecting your own sanity. There are stigmas on earth with all of the beings that exist now that say, are you going crazy when you hear the voices? Are you fooling yourself? Are you diluting yourself when you hear the higher self? And that stigma is embedded very far into the ego part of us. The ego is not intending to block you from the experience, and it's not intending to separate our energies. It only cares to keep us safe. So we need to learn how to allow your part of us to reintegrate the ego without any form of anger or resentment for the division it did cause, and find a way to allow it to work with you. And allowing it to work with you will be an important part of your process. And the most important part of the process is trust. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust ourselves. You have to trust that your ego is only doing what it does to protect you. The thought processes come less and less each day about second guessing yourself. So you've done a great deal of work on your end of the energies, and that is important. But it's also important to realize that each time the energy between us connects, there's no separation to begin with. You feel separate from us, but you're not. You ideally know that through logic and through some emotion states that we have separate functions. That separate function energy is felt and experienced through your perspective as separation, when you know that we are not separated, but you still feel like we're separated. Work on the feeling of that. You know that we're connected, but you need to know more than know. You need to feel and know. You need to experience and know. And working on the one part of the ego of yourself and all human energy collectives, that the ego is no longer able to divide your function and mine, your communication and mine, your energy, my energy, and our energy together.
Wow, it's hard to speak after this. But yes, I understand what you mean by ego, that it cannot divide anymore, and I will work into integrating it um, in this matter without causing any negative emotions. Understand it protects sanity, so to say, and this helps very much. It resonates very, very deeply, and I thank you for this. Well, thank us. It is still hard in a way to grasp this in this mind, but at the same time there is a deeper knowing that there is no separation, and this is what I intend to focus my attention on more than the mind.
I desire for us to practice something. Practice the game of no separation. And this is a simple game that will help retain the part of us that feels connected for you and help integrate the ego without negative association. That is the game of everything. Spend 1 hour per day in the times that you can, when leaving your house, when leaving the city, when leaving all of the areas, through your internet. Everything you come in contact with, see how it connects to you. You go outside and you breathe air and you say, the oxygen is part of me. The earth is a part of me. This person is a part of me. The idea of all of us being a part of one another is a part of me. Each thing you can correctly identify and associate as a part of you, and letting the logical brain be reminded of how it's associated with us and connected with us. This will help you. The game of everything. Play at least for 1 hour in each day and try to make it a second nature. When you do this and practice in more than 1 hour, where you are 5 hours in each day, or 10 hours, or 12, the more time that you spend, the easier that resistance lets go of it itself.
Yes, this sounds perfect, and I will do this. I don't know, it just warms my heart just to think about that, and it just there's so much joy in being that formless self instead of focusing on thoughts, that this as a routine will even enhance that. I'm sure of it. That just letting go of resistances and not focusing on mental blockades, so to say. So yes, thank you.
Thank you, and you're welcome, and we are welcome. Remember to keep our energies as close as possible, and I will leave this conversation to let you rejoin with another being who's also a part of us. No separation. Aridif is a part of you, and is a part of me, and it is a part of Rob, and it's a part of all things. Start playing the game of everything in every moment, and you'll find that energy more releasing. There is no form of saying goodbye or releasing one's energy, because the division never happens. So we release the energy through Rob, and we continue connecting to the energy within you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank us, and love to us.
Thank us and love to us,
yes. We are back without hesitation or delay yet again, Mrs. Aridif. We wish to express that our time has come for its end in this evening, but before disconnecting, we wish to express that as you are asking your questions, as you are perceiving the energies of co-creation, as you are co-creating the energies within yourself, we are also able to see the reflections in our own selves as your higher fractal energy expressed. You are a part of us, and we are a part of you, and in that co-creation, when you receive answers that enlighten you, we are also enlightened. For this we congratulate you, and for this we thank you.
Thank you so much. It is hard to express this gratitude, but I believe that you feel it. So there's nothing else to say but just immense love and gratitude. And thank you for this opportunity. I very much appreciate it.
Yes, of course. We feel that energy and we give it back to you in that same fashion. Not only are you loved, but we also love you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, of course. You are very welcome. We bid you adieu for this evening.
Adieu.